My name is Mike Tekell. I work for Better IT Services, and I'm the regional manager for the company in this region. As the regional manager, I'm responsible for all of the operations within my region, which encompasses Lincoln County, Otero County, and Doñana County here in southern New Mexico. And I oversee the day-to-day operations of all of our contracts in these three counties. Pretty much everything that goes on with my company in these three counties, it's all overseen by me. I make all of the decisions, from basic network design all the way to scheduling to bringing in new clients, just everything. It's kind of actually a crazy amount of work, to be honest with you. Once I sit here and actually try to verbalize it, there's a huge amount of work that is sitting in my lap. The thing that pushed me into IT services was a career-ending injury. I started out as a deputy sheriff here in Otero County in 1998, and I continued down that career path until I moved to Las Cruces, and I was working over there at Doñana County and for the Air Force as well. In a law enforcement capacity, and I was struck by a vehicle working a call down in Anthony, New Mexico, and it completely and totally changed my career trajectory. After having multiple surgeries and dealing with a spinal injury, I finally decided that I was going to do something else, and I had always had an interest in computers, and I grew up in a self-professed family of nerds, so I'm kind of the black sheep, I guess. Of my nerd family, but with that, I had an interest that was always there. So after the injury, it was easy for me to start kind of transitioning into a job in IT services. And then as I started progressing and talking to counselors at NMSU, they pointed me to Professor Steve Holmes here at New Mexico State University, Alamogordo, and I guess just through training, my schoolwork, and my work ethic, I was able to move from network administrator to a desktop support supervisor role, and then now I'm the regional manager. With one of the things that I think people kind of misjudge IT with is they think that everybody's just kind of in the same level, that everybody that's in IT, they're just your basic nerd, and they're all programmers, they're all this or they're all that. And one of the things that I found early on is that there are so many subspecialties within the IT community. There really is. I got an A in advanced programming. I'm not a programmer. I definitely, my skill set is more towards network administration and network maintenance and the setup of servers and the core backbone of what IT services uses for all the users across the board to keep things running. My particular skill set, again, is in program management and network administration. So I use that on a daily basis as the regional manager. My focus is strictly on the network, the design of the network, and the functioning of the network. And all of that came from my training and skills that I picked up at New Mexico State University here in Alamogordo. I guess some of the interpersonal skills that you need to do this kind of job is just the ability to talk to people and to understand, that when they're talking to you, they have a problem. It's just like, equating it to my career in law enforcement. You've got to have those interpersonal skills, the ability to be able to talk to people, to converse with people normally, and being able to be empathetic and listen to people's problem. And not everybody handles it the same way. You have some customers that, you think the end of the world is happening. And then you have other customers that it's actually a pretty major problem, but they're like cool, cold as ice. So you gotta have that ability to be able to, communicate with people, not take things personal, and understand that the person that you're talking to and trying to help is probably having one of the worst days of their life, even though they may not be outwardly showing that. And to have that, empathy and ability to understand that and help them find the problem, that's probably one of the biggest skills I think that you can have in the IT world. I think one of the things that I enjoy about my particular career field the most is really, I think it goes back to, I keep repeating the fact that, my former life as a police officer, that I still get to help people. I still get to, be there when people need me to be there. I grew up in a family that was very much about community service, about, serving the community, whether it be in the military or just volunteering. So that's something that I really enjoy. I really do. I feel like it gives me a chance to continue giving back to my community. I think, and then one of the things I think that would be surprising to a lot of people is how much work that I do with law enforcement. One of my training minors in college was cyber forensics. So we also do, stuff on the cyber forensics side when it comes to, somebody committing a crime and using a phone or smartphone or a laptop or something like that. We do get tasked at times to sometimes willfully get into the computer, sometimes with a warrant. They bring us a warrant and we'll actually go in and retrieve the data that's being requested as per the warrant. So that's something that I think a lot of people don't realize that we do. I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give somebody that's looking to go into the IT world, certifications. Not necessarily degrees. Degrees are always good. Getting a piece of paper from a reputable college or community college is great. But I think the number one thing that I would recommend that I look for is the regional manager. I'm also responsible for hiring in my area as well. So probably the number one thing is certifications. Accredited certifications from companies like Cisco, CompTIA are probably the two biggest certifications, in CCNA, A+, Security Plus, and Network Plus. Any of those four certifications, they're going to get you a job.